Hey everybody, this is the summary for chapter 17. The first thing that I kind of wanted to show you was this picture, if I can get it to look how I want it to, of Huck and Jim and what their raft looked like. They also had a canoe that they would have just had tied up to the back. But you can see the wigwam, and you can see Jim and Huck. You can see how wide the river is, just to give you a visual. Anyway, chapter 17, they start off with starting to second guess themselves and wondering if maybe they passed Cairo that night when it was really foggy. It makes them really nervous, and they blame their bad luck and not knowing on that rattlesnake back in Jackson Island for their bad luck. Anyway, there's another conflict going on. There's an inner conflict in Huck's mind where he starts to wonder if he did the right thing by helping Jim escape. Remember, he grew up in a time and a place where he didn't know slavery was bad and evil. He just didn't know any different. Slaves were property, and not that he was necessarily racist boy, but he didn't know anything different. So anyway, he's kind of having this conflict, and he makes up his mind that when he goes to shore, he's going to turn Jim in because he thinks that's the right thing to do after the widow was so good to him. However, right when he's about to go to shore because he sees a house, Jim makes a comment and says, Huck, I'm almost free and I have you to thank. You've kept your promise. You've been such a good friend to me. You're the only person that's ever been a good friend to me. And right there, that makes Huck change his mind because he decides, whether I turn Jim in or I don't, neither of those things are going to make me feel good. So I might as well just not turn him in. And that's what he decides. So as he's paddling ashore, he runs into two guys that are also canoeing. And turns out they're in search for runaway slaves. And they ask Huck, do you have a black person with you or a white person? Huck says, a white person, and it's Pap, and he's obviously lying, and he's going to make up this story so that they don't go check, because one of the guys says, well, I'm going to go check to make sure you tell me the truth. And so Huck puts on this whole elaborate story that it's his Pap who has smallpox. Well, smallpox, very similarly to what we're going through now with the COVID-19 virus, is highly, highly contagious. So that freaks them out, and they're like, "Oh, we're staying a long ways away from you guys, but we'll both put $20 worth of gold coin on this log, and we'll send it over to you. And there's $40 of gold for your trouble. There's a town 20 miles up that you can go get help for your Pap with smallpox." So they went out with $40 of gold. And that's kind of lucky. So then they think they have good luck. Well, shortly after that, they run into bad luck. The steamboat comes along, this big, huge boat, and slices the raft that they're on. So at last minute, Huck has to jump one way, Jim has to jump the other way, and they have to separate. Huck makes it to shore. He finds a bit of a board to hang on to and gets to shore, but has no idea where Jim went to. So now, at the end of the chapter, they're separated, and the chapter concludes with a pack of dogs cornering and barking at Huck, which will take us to the next chapter where we'll find out what's going to happen with Huck. All right, thank you for bearing with me. Have a good day.